Pooh! Did I scare you? No? You knew I was coming over here. I was playing with my new plushie. Do you know who this is? Well, you will. We'll get his story out. Not today. Another day. He looks a little big and a little mean. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe what something or someone looks like is different than what they are. I had a book I wanted to share with you today about a very big, scary, but maybe not scary, fish named Al. This is the story of Big Al. It's written by Andrew Clements. He's really good. And illustrated by Yoshi, which you can see this illustration. We know we're in for good things. Would you like to hear it? Okay. It's one of my very favorite books. I learned a lot of lessons from this. In the wide blue sea, there was a very friendly fish named Big Al. You could not find a nicer fish. I think he seems pretty nice. I like the blue. I'm wearing the blue. But Al was also very, very scary. You ready to turn the page? Are you thinking, there's more to the book than just a scary fish? Other fish seemed to have at least one friend. Some had many. But Big Al had none. I can't imagine a world without friends. That would be very hard. He did not really blame the other fish. How could he expect little fish to trust a great big fish with eyes and skin and teeth like his? So Big Al was lonely and cried big salty tears into the big salty sea. That had to be very hard for him. But Big Al really wanted friends, so he worked at it. Do you work at things? Yeah, I work at things. I try to learn new things or work at being better at things I'm not so good at. First, he tried wrapping himself up with seaweed. He thought that it was a great disguise. But no one else did. Who wants to stop and talk to a floating plant that has big, sharp teeth? He might have been doing dramatic play. He might have been dressing up, but still Al. Then he thought that if he puffed himself up round, the other fish would laugh and see how clever and silly he could be. All they saw was how big he could be, and they steered clear. That's a lot of Big Al. Can you do that? Do you ever make big fish face? Those fish. Very early one morning, Big Al went down to the bottom and flopped and wiggled himself into the sand until he was almost covered up. He looked much smaller. When other fish came near, Big Al talked and joked with them and had a delightful time. But then one scratchy little grain of sand got stuck in his gills, and he sneezed. When the clouds of sand cleared away, all the other fish were gone. I imagine Big Al has big sneezes. Big Al even changed his color one day so he could look like he belonged to a school of tiny fish passing by. He bubbled along with them for a while, laughing and feeling like he was just one of the crowd. But he was so big and clumsy that when all the fish darted to the left and then quickly back to the right, Big Al just plowed straight ahead. He went bumping and thumping right into the little fish. Before he could even say, "Excuse me," they were gone, and he was all alone again. Sadder than ever. Makes me think about when Tacky the penguin wanted to, or tried to be like all the other ones. I don't think he ever wanted to. Just when Big Al was starting to be sure he would never have a single friend, something happened. I think this is a turning point in the story. He was floating along sadly, watching some of the smaller fish, and was wishing they would come closer. As he watched, a net dropped down silently from above, and in an instant, they were caught. Oh no. I thought maybe I smelled a little trouble. Big Al forgot all about being lonely, and he forgot all about being sad. His eyes bulged out bigger and rounder than ever. And with a mighty flip of his tail, he opened his mouth and charged straight at the net. The net was strong, but Big Al was stronger. He ripped right through, and all the little fish rushed out through the hole. Whoa! That was unexpected. But when Big Al tried to turn around and go out of the hole, he got all tangled up in the net. He was stuck. Oh no, he had just saved them. The net went higher and higher toward the bright surface of the sea, and the little fish watched Big Al as he disappeared above them. When the little fish were able to speak again, all they talked about was the huge, wonderful fish that had saved them. How great to be free, but what a shame that the big fellow had been captured. Oh, that was his chance. Should we keep reading? Yep. You might be thinking what I'm thinking. This story's not over yet. Just then there was a tremendous crashing splash above them, and the small fish dashed away. Was it the net again? Not at all. It was Big Al. Those fishermen took one look at him and threw him right back into the ocean. They didn't know what we know. Big Al was a great fish to find. And now there is one huge, puffy, scary, fierce-looking fish in the sea who has more friends than anyone else. You know who it is, don't you? Yep, right there. Big Al. Wow. Isn't that interesting? He was big. He might have looked scary, but he never stopped trying to make friends. He had to find a way for them to understand that he could be a good friend. He was a good person to be with. Do you ever have trouble doing that? I do. Sometimes I think, don't they get it? I just want to be their friend. I think I'm going to try the way Big Al tried, to just keep being the best friend I can be. And then maybe everyone around me will see that. Maybe you could try that. Even if you feel sad that someone won't play with you or be your friend, Big Al didn't give up. I think we should all try to be a little bit like him. Because you know what? The way something looks doesn't mean that that's everything about them. Someone could have maybe a quiet face that looks angry, like, and maybe they just don't smile a lot. But it doesn't mean they can't be a good friend and have a lot of fun. Or maybe they look different in another way. I look different. I have wrinkles, all these lines, because I've had so many chances to meet friends and do so many things. And these lines are like little stories on my face about all the great things I got to do. Maybe your face looks different, or your hands, or your hair. Maybe you don't have hair. One of my friends is taking a lot of medicine, and she got to stop taking the medicine, but her hair all came out for a little while, and she had no hair. She was still beautiful and funny and makes the best slime of anybody I know. So that's a good thing to think about. I will come back after my trip. I'm going to California for a couple days, and I'm excited to share some new stories. We will start the year off saying Happy New Year and making plans for all the great things that we can do in the world. I plan on being like Big Al, not giving up, making friends. And I think that you will have a great new year. Maybe you're celebrating. Maybe this week you're going to play with a lot of new things that you got for the holidays. Or maybe you're just going to think about Big Al and how you can be the best friend ever. So when I come back, we'll have more books. We will see this guy. He's a pretty awesome stuffy. But until then, just remember, I'm thankful for a lot of things in the world that are wonderful. And you are someone I am thankful for. We'll see you later.